Hey guys, and welcome back to another video in my Fastest Verses series, and today we're going to be looking at the legendary Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick is not only a great lyricist, but he also has some really good flows, which a lot of the time results in some relatively fast verses. But before we get into this video, I want to thank the wonderful people over at Amino for sponsoring this video. If you're not familiar with them, Amino is an app that powers over 1 million different communities, at least one for every interest in the world, with one of those being rap and hip hop. Essentially, what is contained in this app is a very welcoming community where you can view a front page of featured posts about hip hop. I especially like this one on the poster's top 25 albums of 2017. You can also take part in public chat rooms, quizzes, and it even has its own wiki which you can contribute to. If someone there is watching this, by the way, please add me to the music critics wiki category. I can help you out if you need any information for it. I have a verified account there, so if you feel like it, download the app from the link in the description below, come and drop me a message, and check out my quiz I created titled The Ultimate Soulja Boy Quiz. It's a real riot. So once again, thank you to Amino for sponsoring this video on the 10 fastest Kendrick Lamar verses, and with all that being said guys, this is CDTVProductions. And let's get right into the video. Starting our list at number 10, we have G Code verse 1 where he hits 7.1 syllables per second.
King Drew and Westchester had the baddest bitches. And my nigga El Moore had the white Toyota, then we got pulled over, had to hide the bottles because they was mixed with Hennessy and soda. Every time we rolled up, we was unsober, and everybody had know that. My nigga Yan Yan had the RFP hat, which really was dumb because where we was at was the other side.
Here we have a verse from Kendrick's C4 mixtape, which was a mixtape I didn't massively love because his voice was very strange on certain tracks, and Kendrick was clearly still developing on it, but this is one of the best tracks on there. Kendrick raps over a very upbeat, soulful beat, and maintains a fast flow throughout the whole thing. It's just a nice, light-hearted song with a cool message. And at number 9, we have Fragile by Tech 9, verse 3, where he hits 7.1 syllables per second again.
Slender and abusing what I call a realist coming from a student. Told myself to use a poem as a Uzi. Empty magazine, I seen a magazine. You see my trigger finger, then I started shooting. That was nicotine, I'm about to smoke them all. A journalist involved, he should've known my music.
Our first guest verse here, we have his feature on Tech 9's song Fragile. I personally love this song, and I'm happy it was one of Tech's biggest hits of recent times. Kendrick's verse comes off as pretty unique with his harmonized vocals and encapsulating flows. He definitely left his mark on this track. And at our 8th spot, we have The Heart, part 2, verse 1, where he hits 7.3 syllables per second.
I'm trying to purchase my mama them business, occupying my time with riches, justifying my time ambition, just to coincide, just to go inside, books behind the lives while we live. And look, the mastermind took the mastermind, just the perfect time, just the mastermind, just the master ground with precision. Look, the mastermind took the...
This was the opening track on Kendrick's overly dedicated mixtape, and it's a song that Kendrick himself is quite fond of. He stated before that this is his favourite track on OD, and that's why you can hear so much emotion in his verse towards the end, and that's why he coughs and loses his breath on the last line. He said he wanted to keep that in so that people could feel the real emotion of the track, and it did result in a great song. And at number 7, we have his verse on Deep Water by Dr. Dre, which is verse 3, where he hits 7.5 syllables per second.
I was looking for $1, putting quarter pieces in the black of piece and make it holla holla. No policing me, I got the beast in me, I got to holla. Keep the decency and making TNT my product. I'm a CO, MPTO, innovator, energizer, inner city, bullet fly till that bitch on autopilot.
If you haven't heard this song, you need to go check it out because it contains one of my favourite Kendrick verses of all time. It was featured on Dr. Dre's Compton album, and from the very start of the verse, Kendrick comes out sounding as hungry as ever. This is one of those verses that it's impossible to not react to when you hear it. His flow on here is just incredible. If this verse doesn't hype you up, you aren't human in my eyes. I definitely recommend listening to this if you haven't heard it yet. And at our 6th spot, we have his verse on Love Game by Eminem, verse 2, where he hits 7.6 syllables per second.
Bitch, you serious? I'm in the mirror with this look on my face, curious why you ain't fucking with me. You cut me deep as a Syrian. You know I want you bad as a Benjamin. I'm delirious. I want you bad as the head shattered on George Zimmerman. After the Dillinger, hit him diligently and kill him.
Eminem and Kendrick Lamar is a great combination, but I didn't think many people expected to hear them on a track that sounded like this, over a beat that sounded reminiscent of the very old days of hip-hop. But Em and Kendrick made it work. They both provided pretty fast verses on here, but according to my numbers, Kendrick actually raps a fair bit faster than Eminem does on this track. If you want to compare these two, you can go watch my video on the 10 fastest Eminem verses, because Eminem's verse from Love Game is in that video. Lamar has a pretty dizzying flow throughout the whole track, and it resulted in a super entertaining song. And at number 5, we have Play With Fire, verse 1, where he hits 7.6 syllables per second again.
No food, no sleep. I'm a warrior, the coroner go have to come and get him, put him under the street, and I guarantee I hit him where it hurts. I'm alert, where he sleep. His alarm clock beep, I'll be right there. Gun, their knife, their kids, their wife, their bedrock, headshot. I'ma hit him twice, they're clear. Have to block till there's no more life, their top.
Here is the second one on this list from Kendrick's C4 mixtape. The Lil Wayne influences are pretty clear in his voice at the start of the track, but I'm pretty sure the fast part here is faster than anything I've ever heard Wayne do. This track gets really intense towards the last minute, and it really sounds great. Kendrick snaps on this track, and the pitch of his voice just increases as the intensity of the beat does, which adds to the frenzied sound of it. Great verse, and another song I enjoyed from C4. And at our 4th spot, we have verse 1 on his Milli Freestyle, where he hits 7.9 syllables per second.
Recognize who I be, K, die motherfucker, hot motherfucker, drop top on your block with the Glock on side motherfucker, ride motherfucker, down motherfucker, when I go pop, open up, close shop like a retail spot, everybody know I beat with the money lie, eat with the money lie, shit.
And we're already back to another one from C4. Now that I think about it, looking at this list, C4 is the mixtape with the largest number of fast Kendrick verses. I guess he really wanted to prove himself on this project. He had a great beat to work with on this one. The Milli beat is almost considered a legendary beat at this point. It's, at the very least, incredibly recognizable, and Kendrick does it justice. It's also pretty amazing how his rhymes line up right where the snares hit during the beat in the fast part. He definitely put some work into making this remix sound good. It's almost hard to hear his voice at parts in the fast verse, but he still makes sure that he goes all out on it. And at number 3, we have Alright, verse 1, where he hits 8 syllables per second.
You can live at the mall. I can see the evil, I can tell it. I know it's illegal, I don't think about it. I deposit every other zero, thinking of my partner. Put the candy painting on a Rico, digging in my pocket. In a profit big enough to feed you every day. My logic, get another dollar just to keep you in the presence.
Here we have the only track from To Pimp a Butterfly on this list, and I expected it to be on here, but I didn't know it was gonna be so high up. The song has a very uplifting sound to it as a whole, but the message is definitely a serious one. Underneath the happiness of the instrumental and the positivity of the hook is a story of racism, an issue often tackled on To Pimp a Butterfly. This is a really powerful song, despite some people trying to say that it's a song that causes damage. That's a dumb statement to me. This is a quality track with a great message, and we should appreciate that. And for the second fastest Kendrick Lamar verse of all time, we have verse 1 on Look Out For Detox, where he hits 8.2 syllables per second.
The government come shoot me, nigga, cause I'm going out with a fist raised and a fist full of money, give it to the 5th grade, drink a fifth of Hennessy and then take another fade with a Democratic politician from CA. They don't want to see A-B-L-A-C-K, making some scratch like a Hall of Fame DJ, give us some free J's, put us in the PJs, now we in the...
This verse was released over 7 years ago, and it still holds up today. I really think this track helped introduce a lot of people to Kendrick, and as you can tell by the title, it was released to build hype for Dr. Dre's now scrapped Detox album. Kendrick comes with an almost 3-minute long verse, and it's pretty impressive. He barely lets his flow drop throughout the whole time that he's rapping, and it makes for a compelling listen. Also, if you haven't heard it and that's not enough to make you check it out, it was also produced by Childish Gambino. The beat he provides for this is very raw, and it works perfectly with Kendrick's bars. Fantastic track. And at number 1, and the fastest Kendrick Lamar verse of all time, we have Rigamortus verse 2, where he hits 8.6 syllables per second.
Visit the nearest creek and I get busy. Yo, mini MC, really ballistic. Anybody can see any assistance. Everybody to see some persistence. Recognize I be really too vicious. The permanent beast and the demolition. Breaking up the streets, better partition. Better dot your T. Hannibal mention. How to all you see, putting my dick in.
I'm pretty sure all of you guys expected this one to be number one. Kendrick is fast throughout pretty much all of this song. I mean, even the hook is pretty rapid. But as you heard there, the fastest part took place towards the end of the song. Now, we all know fast rapping doesn't necessarily equal skill, but just look at the rhyme scheme on this track as well. It's potentially one of the better ones that Kendrick has written, and that is saying something. This comes from Kendrick's first studio album, Section 80, and I'd highly recommend checking it out if you haven't already. Sometimes it feels like that album gets lost behind the greatness of Kendrick's most recent projects, but trust me when I say Section 80 is still on that level. And like I said, this song is on here, so I hope that encourages you to check it out. And there we have it, Rigamortus contains the fastest Kendrick Lamar verse of all time. Well guys, that is going to be it for the video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, and I would really appreciate if you can subscribe, as I know it's a long way away, but I'm trying to hit 250,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I want to thank Amino once again for sponsoring this video. I'd only really sponsor things that I think you guys might genuinely enjoy, and I actually actively use the Amino app now, so if you want to go there and just shoot me a message on there. Obviously, I don't have as many followers on Amino as I do on all my other social media accounts, so I'll definitely see your message if you send it to me on Amino. So, if anything, that's a reason to head over there too. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you did enjoy this one. There will be a list of all the songs that I counted for this video in the description below, so check that before you leave a comment asking me where a certain song is. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you all in the next one, and this is CDTVProductions signing out.